So, last shot here to try and deal with some of the things of rational expressions. We are not dealing with the story problems. We never got to that, so that's okay. When we get started here on the front, though, and like I said, I'm going to bounce around a little bit, depending on how some things are going. So, simplify each factor, maybe, and state the, I'm not worried about excluded values. We're just going to factor and cancel stuff, because that's fun. So, the first job of any and all factoring problems, figure out what's in common. So up top there in the numerator, what do they got in common? Oh, I agree with 9. I agree with A. Okay, if we were doing an LCD, it would be squared. But if we're just looking for a common factor, we're going to take the smallest one there. Oh, that's all right. Looking ahead, that's a good thing. So if I have 9A or 9A to the first here, nice. I only have 1A left, because I need 2, I got 1. And here, 90 divided by 9 is 10. Then when I get to the denominator, I'm going to do the same thing. As Chloe was saying a minute ago, I agree, that's 9A squared. I'm with you. Because again, when you're looking, when we're factoring, we take the smallest one. That's different than the LCD. When we get there, we'll chat about that. Oh dear, first one already. What am I going to be left with? Okay, 10. 90 divided by 9 is 10. I already got the A squared. Minus A. We've been in this situation before. These are not the same currently, but they're close. Their signs are just flipped. How do I fix that? Okay, factoring out something. What's the something? A negative. You can do it to either one. So I'm going to take it out of here. And by pulling that negative out, that changes the signs on both of these. So now these are both positive A. These are both negative 10. So those are now the same and can be canceled. So if I take a quick peek at what's left here, I still can zap the 9s. The negative is still there though. And what do you do to the exponents when you're dividing? Subtract. So where the bigger exponent is where your answer goes. I can put the negative there if I want to. But here's the kicker. If everything you have left is in the denominator, you have to put a 1 up top, because otherwise it's not in the denominator anymore. It'd be in the numerator. Hardy, you going to do that to us tomorrow? Probably not, but we'll be ready just in case. Just in case. Yeah, we're always prepared for things, just in case. Okay, one more in this section. Then, like I said, I'm going to bounce around a little, and I'll let you all pick some too, so we can see how we're going here. You know the first question. Anything in common? Okay, we got a 10. And again, when we're factoring, we want the smaller of the two exponents, because if I took the bigger one, I'm going to have a problem. So again, we're just doing a comparison. And if you're not sure sometime, you're like, okay, I figured out what they have in common. Well, now what? Have yourself some scratch paper or something available. Because then you can literally start doing this stuff and go, oh, 2 minus 1 is 1. That's just b to the first, and it's up top. So b, or b to the first, okay? What's negative 70 divided by 10? Negative 7. And then my denominator, oh, I see 3 terms now. This is probably, well, it is. It is a diamond. At this point, And I'm just being straight. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. At this point, we got to be able to know the diamond stuff. Multiplies to a positive, which means the signs are the same. There it is. They're both negative. And last I checked, multiply to 21 and add to 10. 7 and 3 as they try to race each other in the back. Okay. Now I can start canceling stuff. Not before. Just a minute. Before we go any further, for some of you, this is why when you see plus or minus, you need parentheses. I had a lot of people on the last quiz. Oh, I'm going to cancel these b squareds. No. They're bonded. Here, these are identical. I can zap those. But me having those parentheses around my b minus 3, I'm hoping is going to save some of you from trying to cancel those and have a problem. It's just done. You're finished. That's it. As you're working through that. So again, if we're simplifying, it's factor, cancel. And that's it. Now, let's change it up a little. We're going to do one of the easier ones and one of the ones that's not quite as easy. So, let's say we take a peek at 6. I will tell you in advance, I was nice enough. I put the parentheses on the quiz already. I'm not going to make you remember it anyway. So, I look to see if something is factorable. It may not be every time. Nothing really in that first fraction to do anything. That's okay. But when I get to the second fraction, don't you have canceled anything already? Factor out a 2. Okay, so if I divide through by 2, what am I left with? X minus 7. So there was only one piece of that was factorable, but now, numerator to denominator, same parentheses, zap them. Same coefficient out front, zap them. That's all that's left. If you want to put parentheses, that'd be good. So we've got to keep making ourselves jump into the factoring thing, and that's where a struggle's been for a lot of you for quite a while with this. We got another shot to make it better. So, let's see here. Clues. Multiplies to a negative. Okay, one of each sign. No. Oh, they're fighting in the back now. Look out. Multiplies to a negative, adds to a positive. The positive number is going to be bigger. Multiplies to 60 and are 4 apart. I know, but you've got to go with like the script I'm doing as we're doing this. That's what we got to keep going with. 4b, I can't really do anything with that. What's in common? Okay, a 4 and a b, just a b. Smallest ones when we're factoring. I already got the 4. I got 1b, but I need 2. And then 40 divided by 4 is 10. And yep, so we get to go cancel crazy with the parentheses, with the 4b's. And I will say it one more time. When you are working, if there is a plus or minus, keep the parentheses so you're not the person telling me the answer is -1. I canceled the b's, I canceled the 6. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Nope. Not happening. So it kind of lets us see again. So multiply, you're like, okay, factor, cancel. If there aren't plus or minus things, we'd get it into one fraction. I think that's coming, but if it's not, I'll have to mention that in a bit. Well, dang it, it's not. I will find one in a bit then. We should do number 10. Well, then that's what we're going to do. Okay. Okay. First fraction. A plus 1 can't do a thing. Denominator, we are going to give a shot to factoring here. Multiplies to a negative. One of each sign. Adds to a positive, which means the positive number is bigger. Two numbers that multiply to 56 that are one apart. Next question. If we're dividing that fraction after the division sign, and only that fraction needs to flip because it becomes a multiplication problem. So, this is now on top. What do we got in common we can yank out of there? Okay, a 5 goes into both. If you're not sure, you can look on the back of your multiply / factoring chart. Find 40 and 5 in a column or row and follow it back. And a squared, our smallest exponent. It is. I got 5. I got 2 a's. I need 3. That'd be 1 more. And 40 divided by 5 is 8. And a plus 1 at the bottom. As long as I remember the division flip deal, zap the like sets of parentheses, write down what's left. Don't do it in parentheses, not in parentheses. Don't mix them. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Nothing but trouble. All right, one more division. What else do we want to, which other one do we want to do on division? 14 is not division. It's like 12, no, 9, no, 12, no, 9. We're doing 9. Okay. Okay. We know the deal. This is the one where it's the most work. Anything in common? 3. So divide each of those by 3. Diamond problem. Multiplies to a negative, 1 of each sign. I do agree that 10 times 2 is 20 and is 8 apart. There's the sign of my bigger number. And then a nice thing happens. We don't have to do any factoring. So this is a good problem to look at because, okay, we're used to doing the cross-canceling thing, okay? As long as one's in the numerator and denominator, whether it's in different fractions or the same, it doesn't matter. You can still zap them. Just again, don't get sucked in when you're canceling. Ooh, 3 and 9. I can do, this is in parentheses. I keep doing this because I see what happens every time, and I know it's somebody's doing that tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh. So, okay. Oh dear. Okay, this ought to be interesting to see how y'all tackle these now. All right, 13 through 16. We're gonna do 2 of them. Okay, let's start with these. Okay. First things first. When we're into adding or subtracting, first job, we're dealing with the denominator only. If anything is factorable, that needs to get taken care of now. Take Get 3 out of each of those. Divide by 3. Old goes away. And now it's time to build our LCD. When we're doing it and it's not an equation, this is not an equation, okay? We're going to make a note here. When you're adding or subtracting, keep the denominator. Oh, shoot, I should have gone lower. Oh, well. When you're in this section, don't cancel it out. It's not an equation. You can't do it. I mean, you could, just be wrong. So, start running down the checklist. And of course, mine is going to be gone. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. It would. Because here, we already did the factoring. Coefficients, 4 and 3. You're counting by 3s, you're counting by 4s in your brain, on the back, on your multiplication sheet. I don't care. But we're going to keep going until we find the same number in both lists. 12. No single variables. My only variable's right there, and it's stuck in a set of parentheses, so we're not going to do that. That gets included in the parenthesis part. Whatever was in the numerator already stays. Do not cancel yet. And now we're in our mode where we try to play the game here of what do I have to multiply this by to get this? Yep, we multiply 4 times 3 to get 12. And we also need the v minus 1 because we didn't have that. Over here, yep, I've got the v minus 1. I just need whatever 3 times what gets me to 12. So, let's see what we got left now. You're like, how am I supposed to do this? Suggestion, I'm going to do a little side work here. 6v times 3 is 18v. I'd do that first before I distribute it. V times v, v squared. That's 18v. Okay, that's this first one. When it's minus in the middle, another suggestion, put the minus with your number. Notice I turned that into plus then, so I don't do it twice. Distribute that through. Minus 4v, minus 4. Are we almost done? Yes. Yes, we are. Find your like terms. There they are. No opposites. We're just putting them together. And I've said this a ton in the last 2 weeks, but I'm going to say it again. If you get to here, minimum 4 out of 5. That's a good thing. But yeah, if you want to get all the points, I'm going to go this way. You may have something that can be divided out, and sometimes, oh my gosh, I'm going to so run out of room. And sometimes when you take out the little, oh geez. Luckily I caught myself before you all did, as usual. Catch me when I do silly stuff. The parentheses aren't the same, but ooh, I can play here some more. You're like, yeah, Hardy, like, hopefully we're not doing number 13 because you just took up all that room. Well, I just got to learn how to write smaller. 2 goes into 12 6 times. That's like the answer. Again, Hardy, would you do something that you do tomorrow? Probably not. I'm not guaranteeing it. Probably not. Maybe extra credit type. Yes, maybe. So, but the concept is still going to be the same either way. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep, ones are never a bad thing. They're not going to hurt anything, whether we have them there or not in this case. So, yeah, that's fine. All right, let's see. I'm hoping this one, I'm looking at it quick. Yeah, this one's going to clean up nicer than the other one did. That's a good thing. Okay. Y'all keep choosing the hard ones. I'm just saying. Like, we could do something easy, like 15. Okay. Nothing there to play with. What about here? Okay, I can get a 3 and an X. I want to get everything. So I got the 3, I got 1X, I need 2. And just the -5. So this time, again, this is all we're looking at right now. If I start counting by 2s and 3s, we're going to have 6. We have a single variable, x, and we have one quantity, one set of parentheses, because these x's are not the same. One's in parentheses, one's not. Again, even if you get to making this and something goes wrong up here, get just this done. Again, I want to be able to find points to give you. So, this becoming this. I got the x minus 5. I got the x. 3 times 2 is going to get me 6. And then I go over here. Now, this is a little more interesting. 2 times what's going to get me to 6? 3. But I need the x. Oh my gosh, you guys, you did pick the 2 hardest ones that I'm probably not even going to force you into tomorrow. Note to self. Note to self. Okay. You're like, Hardy, what's this end up being? Let me simplify this. So 2x minus 6. Then we're going to put that up here again. Holy moly. Negative 18x. What were y'all doing picking this one? You're like, what was I doing? Putting it on the paper. Touche. Negative 18x times negative 5. Holy mackerel. Ugh. Yuck. I will say this again. I'll say it to the screen, so if somebody's looking at this later. The ones that I put on the quiz tomorrow will not be as hard as the 2 that were just chosen. Okay. I even guarantee it on video and they don't believe me. I don't know. I don't know sometimes. But sometimes as I get older, I learn. So I learned there's certain things I should put on the test and not even if I put it on the worksheet. So give the old guy a little bit of credit here. So, okay. You're like, it's that way again. It was like the last one, isn't it? Yep. We're good here. Stinking 2 can come out again. We hate you 2. I will apologize to 2 on the next video we make. It's not 2's fault that it goes into just about everything. So again, we are going to simplify it this way, though. That turns into 3. Yeah. Again, say it again. Not much closer to 15. 15 is much closer to what you're going to see. So I'll start picking what we're going to deal with and what we're not because, yeah, I kind of know what we're going to be dealing with. I'm just looking to see. Okay. Okay. Last section of stuff we're doing as far as this quiz goes. I know. Okay. Now it's an equation. Now we do want to get rid of the denominator using the LCD. Only when there's an equals, though. So once again, I am going to ignore the numerator at the start of my problem. Look down at the denominator and ask the same question. I think I've asked at least 10 times now. Can I factor anything? Okay, and be careful. It is not a difference of squares. If that k wasn't there, it would be. So what do they have in common I can yank? K. But good for those of you that said difference of squares that you're thinking about it, but yeah, we got to be careful. That k changes that a little bit. So, okay. Again, looking at my denominators. No coefficients that aren't stuck in parentheses. I do have a single variable. And these are all k minus 4s. I only need one of them. And now it's your call on how you want to do this. If, I still say it's easiest, if you just look and go, okay, the k minus 4s cancel. Whatever isn't covered at this point is what I need, which is the k and the 4. So 4k equals, I go to the next fraction. The k minus 4s cancel. I have a 1, I have a k. Okay. I get to the last fraction. Hey, all the things cancel. So we've got minus 5k minus 10. Do I have to put the parentheses? Yes, because otherwise our signs are going to get messed up. Because that negative has to distribute. If I forget to distribute, I'm going to have a problem. Also, I will tell you, there will be more room to work on the one tomorrow. Once the denominators are gone, we're in Algebra 1 mode. If you have like terms on the same side of the equals, just put them together. Do not do opposites yet. How do those cancel out? No. If they're on the same side, they would, but they're not. Let's get all the k's together. And a little math, enter, just because. Are you going to take one quick peek? No. Yeah, actually, yeah, we're going to do 20. So one more at 20, and then I'll open it up into like free-for-all mode here on how we might want to tackle this. And again, the extra sheet is back there in the tray. If you wanted to play with this and mess with some other ones later, you can. Story problems, no thank you. Okay. If you have a whole number, we're just going to make it a fraction. What's my LCD going to be? Basically just the b plus 1. I would not tell you you were wrong or blame you if you took the 1 with it. I'll explain why that's not a bad idea, even though I don't really need it. When I start doing my eliminating here, with that 1 being there, it lets me see something that I'm actually canceling. So I can roll with that a little easier. So you'd be like, I'd have 1 in the b plus 1. Then I move to the second fraction. The b plus 1's cancel. So I've got that 1 and this b minus 2. Again, having the 1 there I think is going to be good. It's going to remind you you're distributing. And then I get to the last one. B plus 1's cancel. I got 1 and b minus 6. Again, if you want to write it out and have this on top of every single fraction and then cancel them, that's not a bad thing if you're a visual learner. So make sure you're taking it to both terms, not just the first one. This is why you show work too. If you do miss a sign somewhere and everything else is right, you're going to lose very minimal points, which is a good thing. So, they're on the same side of the equals. 1 minus 1, whack. 1 plus 2 is 3. Work on getting the b term alone. Add your 6. 1b is the same thing as just b. I mean, otherwise I could divide by 1. And I'm done. Hi. Again, besides that 14 and 16 we did on the last page, most of the rest of them are very accurate as far as what you would be looking at. The quiz itself is not this long. It is... Get the full Hardy breakdown. Oh, that was dumb of me. Oh, well, that's okay. There's 13 problems total. Well, 13. Ooh, for those of you that are superstitious. So, see? Right there. You're like, ooh, I got to freeze that later. I might get free questions. So, a couple of simplifying, a couple of multiply, a couple of divide, 3 add and subtract, and 3 equations. So, not too terribly awful. So are there any types that are giving you particular headaches that
No.
we could create a little bit more to try and assist in some way? Again, your help sheets are still available. I would still be trying to get used to using them so you're ready and raring to go with those tomorrow. Yes. In the mainstream, it's not?